Hello everyone. In this video we are going to study about the concept of encircled and enclosed. So why we are going for this topic means it is very important to distinguish between the concept of encirclement and enclosement, which are the frequently applied in the Nyquist criteria. So in the Nyquist stability criteria are in order to find out the stability of the system by Nyquist criteria, first we have to know the what is encircled and what is enclosed. So for example, if I take any point, on the graph sheet, if I take any point here, let us call this point is A, and it is closed by some path in clockwise direction, and it is enclosed like this. That means any point or region are said to be enclosed by a closed path if it is found to be lie to the right hand side of that path when the path is traversed in a particular direction. So here the shaded region, this will indicates the enclosed point. And so in this region we are having the 2 points, point A, point B. So with respect to this graph, here the point A is called as the enclosed point and the point B is called, it is not enclosed point. It is not enclosed, and this point A is called as the enclosed point. Similarly, what is encirclement means, if you take any point A or point B, the point is said to be encircled by a closed path if it is found inside the path. If you find any point inside this path, then this point is said to be encircled. So for enclosement, for example, if I have two points, same points A and B, and we are having some traversed path in this direction, and we are having the shaded region outside this point, then with respect to this figure, the point B is enclosed and the point A is not enclosed. Now have you got the difference between the enclosement and encirclement? Here with respect to this figure, the point A is encircled, and with respect to this figure the point A is enclosed. With respect to this figure the point B is enclosed. So if you know the difference between the enclosed and the encircled, then we are going to draw the Nyquist contour and the mapping technique in the Nyquist plot. That means, for example, if you have any function f of x equal to sum s plus, or f of s equal to s plus 2. So if you want to locate this one in s plane, that means s plus 2 means you are having 1 0 at minus 2. For example, if you replace the s with s plus 2, again I am replacing the s with s plus 2, then the function will become s plus 2 plus 2, that means s plus 4. S plus 4 means the point will move to this point. that is minus 4. So here I'm mapping or I'm rearranging, I'm mapping the f of s function s plus 2 with f of s plus 2, f of s plus 2, f of s plus 2. So in this video mainly I will discuss how to map the function, how to map the different function, how to map the function. So in order to go for the mapping, I am taking some example. So let me take some open loop transfer function g of s into h of s, g of s into h of s. The g of s into h of s value is s minus 2 and s minus 4. Just for example, I am taking, this is the given open loop transfer function. So here we are having 1082 and 1084. So I am locating these zeros in S plane. So we are having 1082 and we are having 1084. So if let us choose any closed path, that may include two zeros or that may include one zero, it depends on your choice. Let us choose any closed path, So in order to choose any closed path, this is the S plane. So I am locating the open loop transfer function zeros in S plane. This is sigma, this is j omega, and we are having 0 set 2 comma 4. So here we are having 1, 3, 5 and so on, and here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. And in the imaginary axis, in the similar way, I, 2i, 3i and so on. And in this is also imaginary axis, minus I, minus 2i, minus 3i and so on. So I am choosing some random points in this S plane such that with the help of that random points, any one of 0 or 2 zeros may be enclosed. So I am choosing first one point. That is 2 plus 2i. I am choosing one point. In real axis 2 and in imaginary axis 2i. And I am choosing one more point. That is 3. Let me call this is one point S1. The second point S2 equal to 3. The third point I am choosing S3 equal to 2 and imaginary axis it is 2 minus 2i, and S4 equal to 1, and I am enclosing this 0 with the help of these points. S1 to S2, S2 to S3, S3 to S4, S4 to S1. Just I am taking some random function. I am taking one enclosed path. You may take enclosed path which is enclosing two zeros also, but I am taking one enclosed path, it will include only 1 0. Now I have to map this one in some other plane. I have to map this function in some other plane, and I have to identify how many encirclements are made by these function. Depending on the number of encirclements we are going to find out the stability of the system. Randomly I am choosing some transfer function and I am taking some points on that S plane, and I am enclosing only 1 0, that 0 is 2, and I want to map this function into some other plane, and I have to identify how many encirclements are made by this function, and depending on that number of encirclements I am going to identify whether the system is stable or not. depending on the number of encirclements. So I am mapping the S plane into some G of S into H of S plane. I am mapping whatever the values we are having into in S plane. I am mapping that one into some G of S into H of S plane. G of S into H of S plane. So initially the first point is 2 plus 2i. The first point is 2 plus 2i. So substitute 2 plus 2i in the given open loop transfer function. Substitute 2 plus 2i. So S1 is 2 plus 2i. Substitute 2 plus 2i in the given open loop transfer function. Then G of S into H of S becomes S minus 2 into S minus 4. In this way only we are mapping. So in place of S, substitute 2 plus 2i. 2 plus 2i minus 2. 2 plus 2i minus 4. So plus 2 minus 2 getting cancelled out. We are left with only 2i. 2 minus 4 is minus 2 plus 2i. So plus 2i into minus 2 is minus 4i. 2 into 2 is 4. 4i square. I square value is minus 1. So 4i minus 4 minus 4i minus 4. So minus 4i and minus 4 point we have to locate on the G of S into H of S plane. So when the point is 2 plus 2i, we are getting minus 4 minus 4i. So 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5 and so on. Similarly here also I, 2i, 3i, 4i, and here also minus I, minus 2i, minus 3i, minus 4i. So our first point is minus 4 comma minus 4i. So locate that point in the G of S into H of S plane. That is this point. This point indicates minus 4 comma minus 4i. Similarly, the S2 point is 3. Substitute S2 equal to 3 in the given transfer function. So S2 equal to 3. S2 equal to 3. Then G of S into H of S will become G of S into H of S equal to S minus 2 multiplied with S minus 4. In place of S, substitute 3. 3 minus 2 is multiplied with 3 minus 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. So we are getting minus 1. So locate minus 1 in the G of S into H of S. When S equal to 3, G of S into H of S will become minus 1. This is the second point. Similarly, when S equal to 2 minus 2i, what is G of S into H of S? When S equal to 2 minus 2i, when S equal to 2 minus 2i, the G of S into H of S will become G of S into H of S is S minus 2 into S minus 4. In place of S, just substitute 2 minus 2i minus 2, and in place of S, substitute 2 minus 2i minus 4. So plus 2 minus 2 are getting cancelled out. Minus 2i and 2 minus 4 is minus 2 minus 2i. Minus 2 into minus 2 plus 4i. Minus into minus plus 4i square and plus 4i. I square value is minus 1, that is minus 4. 4i minus 4. So minus 4, I am locating that point. So minus 4 plus 4i. This is minus 4 plus 4i point. Similarly, substitute S4 value. So if I substitute S4 value in the given G of S into H of S value transfer function, S4 value is 1. G of S into H of S equal to s minus 2 multiplied with s minus 4. So 1 minus 2 multiplied with 1 minus 4. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So we are getting minus 1 into minus 3, that is nothing but plus 3. So I am locating that point in the given g of s into h of s plane, that is plus 3. So I am mapping the s plane into the g of s into h of s plane. Now you can join all these points. When s1 equal to 2 plus 2i, we are getting the minus 4 minus 4i. When s2 equal to 3, we are getting minus 1, and s2 to s3. When s3 equal to 2 minus 2i, minus 4 plus 4i, and s3 to s4, and again come back to the s4 to s1, s4 to s1, s1 to s2, s2 to s3, s3 to s4, and s4 to s1. So in this way we are mapping the s plane values into the g of s into h of s plane. So here we are taking the enclosed, we are taking one enclosed path in clockwise direction, and after the mapping we are getting one encirclement about the origin. Here 1 0 is enclosed, in s plane. 1 0 is enclosed in s plane. So if 1 0 is enclosed in s plane, then if you want to map that function in g of s into h of s plane, then you are getting one clockwise encirclement. For example, if two zeros are enclosed in this closed, if two zeros are enclosed in this path, then you will get two clockwise encirclements. If three zeros are enclosed, three clockwise encirclements. If one pole is enclosed, for example, instead of zeros you take some poles. If one pole is enclosed, then you will get one anti-clockwise encirclement. If two poles are enclosed, two anti-clockwise encirclements about the origin. Three poles are enclosed, then three anti-clockwise encirclements about the origin. In this way we are mapping the s plane into the g of s into h of s plane. So with the help of these number of encirclements, we are going to find out the stability of the system by using the Nyquist criteria. So for example, take some other s plane. In this s plane, if you have two zeros, one pole, two poles, 1 0, and it is enclosed by some path. Here we are having two poles and 1 0. So if you want to map this function, into g of s into h of s plane, then you will get one encirclement, because here we are having two poles 1 0. So the number of encirclements are nothing but here the poles are greater, and poles minus zeros, 2 minus 1, that is 1, and poles are greater. When poles are greater, you are getting the anti-clockwise encirclement. One anti-clockwise encirclement. Similarly, if you have one pole, two zeros in the s plane, and if you want to map this function in g of s into h of s plane, here the zeros are greater. Here the zeros are 2 and poles is 1, and the difference between zeros and poles are only 1. So you are getting only one encirclement, but zeros are greater, that's why you will get clockwise encirclement. In this way in this way we can map the g of s into h of s plane into, in this way we can map the s plane into g of s into h of s plane. So depending on these number of encirclements in the g of s into h of s plane, we can identify whether the system is stable or not. In the upcoming videos I will discuss how to identify the stability by using number of encirclements, and I will discuss one problem related to the Nyquist plot. So thank you everyone. Hope you will get some knowledge about how to do the mapping.